design thinking is basically when you pay attention to the hunger of the consumer. That's design thinking. There's nothing else in design thinking. Engineer does not think of the consumer. The moment you start thinking about the consumer, you become a designer. So that's the difference between a designer and an engineer. Right? An engineer, in a way, works in a vacuum. He knows the mathematics, he knows the problem, he solves the problem. He's not concerned with the consumer. If you understand the consumer, that means you're listening to, you're doing darshan. You are looking at other person's truth. So when I am asking myself when I'm writing a book, when someone enters a bookshop and sees so many books, how will he pick up my book? Right? So I begin with designing the spine of the book. I spend a lot of time designing the spine of the book. Then I am designing, then he pulls out the book. What is the first thing he's going to do? He's going to turn and look at the front cover, but really he's going to look at the back cover. So then I have to put that. It is possible that someone doesn't know my name, but remembers my face from television. So I will put my photograph. So everything has a thought. Everything has a idea. When you're reading a book, I will say that, okay, how is the table of contents designed? How is the, people have attention deficit disorder now. Everybody likes Instagram. I am competing with a world which is like, why would anybody want to read a heavy book? So you make the text small, you give illustrations, you give diagrams, you explain Ramayana and Mahabharata using tables and flow charts, which you see in science books. So you startle people and you say that, I can teach you Shiva and Parvati using a flow chart and a table and a bullet points. So I brought bullet points to mythology. So from PowerPoint presentations to so what you have to do is I'm looking at the audience continuously and I'm like, okay, this person will understand this. A child will understand that. International audience wants this. So all my books, my consumer is present in my room. Without them, when I'm giving a lecture, I'm very aware of the audience. I'm not just sharing my thought. It is like, in India, there's this concept, when you're cooking food, how much salt to add. And they will say, swadanusar. But the designer will say, kiske swadanusar? Pakane wale, the one who cooks or the one who eats? How do you put salt? Based on what your need or the need of if the person in front of you has blood pressure, you will not put salt. Right? So you have to, the design thinking is when you think of other people, and that's why all my work is, I'm very aware of my consumer. And that's what I've done. I know my subject. I'm very happy with my subject. I don't need the subject. I'm writing for people, not for myself.